News, YouTube, you need to wake up to the truth of what's really happening between the United States and Canada right now as we speak. You'd be wondering, Caden, where is your fancy blue background? Well, right now I'm actually at an Airbnb, but this is such a hot and trending topic that I had to come on here and give you the latest news. These are genuine, real updates that you need to know about as an American citizen. Because as long as I've been alive, we've only had 50 states. But we could actually be seeing right now the tipping iceberg of having a 51st state. And this is wild, it's crazy. You need to watch this because Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau are actually right now in the talks. I do again apologize. I'm sorry I'm not in my professional background, but you need to watch this because right now I'm about to give you the latest beef or the latest agreement that they are actually coming between. Don't click off because you're like, oh, Caden's not on the left giving commentary for the whole thing. Listen, watch this video because this could change your life and your family's life as an American citizen or as a Canadian citizen as we know it. First clip I'm going to show you, this is the latest about what Donald Trump jokingly said, but I don't believe he was joking when he said this. I believe it's going to lead to something much greater that's going to happen to change history. This, and then don't stop there, wait till the very next clip.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor.
Just saw that, and of course you might say that's just a big joke, Caden. But here's the thing, many people are honestly saying it, and I love the Canadian people, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great people there. I know personally people there. But a lot of people are saying that Canada has actually become too communistic, is that even a word? Too much of a communist nation that it's beyond repair. Even if the United States captured it as its 51st state, there's no turning back what's already happened in that nation. Listen to what this lady has to say. You're gonna want to stick around for this one because she is spitting facts right now. Check it out.
Well, in my mind, I just see Canada, hurling down the path towards higher levels of socialism, which is, the precursor from communism. And we see that now with the ever increasing government overreach and control. They're trying to absolutely demolish the middle class.
Stop it right there. And of course, typically I'd be on the left giving commentary, but I have to do it this way because I'm not at my studio, as you can see. This lady says that they're trying to crush the middle class. That they're trying to, I know personally people, and I ask them, can you buy a gun there? And they tell me all the procedures they have to go on. If Trump actually went through with this in the next 4 years, and Canada became a United States or a state of the USA, it would have to go through so many procedures. It's not even funny. They would have, because you realize, like one of the most recent states, Hawaii, Alaska, and then you have like Arizona and those recent states. Look at the laws on those states. You can have freedom of speech, all the Constitution. We would have to implement all of that. But my question to you, and tell me in the comments, do you think it's too late for Canada with all of the communist agenda and even some socialistic agenda that they've been going through? Tell me, and keep watching this, please.
They're trying to make it impossible, for example, to buy a house or even a car. We hear things like 15-minute cities. We've had 4 censorship bills crammed down our throat. Free speech is disappearing. And that literally to me screams communism is on the horizon. They're working so hard to take away every possible rights and freedoms that we have, including the right to own property, considering how expensive everything is getting.
I do gotta disagree with one thing that she's saying. The Canada that we think of is not everybody there. There are a lot of people that are secretly USA Americans that are living in Canada. There are secretly people like that. You've got to understand, there's a lot of people who they don't like what's happening in Canada, and they would be all for it becoming the 51st state. Listen, if you're for that, somebody tell me in the chat if you're watching this from Canada and if you would like that to happen. By some chance, if your answer is no, Tell me your reason why. I want to see it in the chat, and I'll respond to a lot of comments, believe me.
And they just want to take control, centralize it, centralize the power, and basically usher in this dystopian, authoritarian hellscape in our country. It's maddening to see Canadians just blindly accepting what's happening and not even questioning it. And not just not questioning it, but also calling people like myself who are trying to sound the alarm bells. They're calling us crazy. They're calling us tinfoil hat nut jobs. They're calling us insane because we're trying to wake them up to what's happening or what's about to happen in this country if we don't stop it. And so maddening frustration is what I feel the most. The secondary emotion is probably sadness because Canadians are not aware. They've been too asleep for too long. They haven't had any major disruptions in this current generation. So they think everything is hunky-dory and it's going to stay that way. And people who have lived it obviously know better. And that's why we're trying to sound the alarms. That's where we're trying to put our necks out there and to say the uncomfortable things, no matter how much flack and blowback and hatred we get for it, because we actually care about this country and the people in it, and we don't want to see it fall to the authoritarian type of regime that people like myself fled.
Of course, I'm not going to keep you long. Of course, I'm not in my studio. This isn't going to be a long video, but people are wondering, what would it look like? Well, here's going to appear upon your screen. You can see that right here. What it would look like if the United States captured it as its 51st state. Now, here's my question. Would they break it up into like 4 or 5 or 6, 7 different states, or would it just be one? Because if that's the case, Canada would become the biggest state, surpassing Alaska and then Texas. So you've got to understand that this would revolutionize the United States of America as we know it. It would, our kids, our grandchildren would be looking at this and they would be like, what was it like, Dad, when you were alive when this happened? It's going to revolutionize everything. It's another thing to point out. If this happened, do you realize how much stronger the USA would become in our military? If we went into a World War III having Canada with us to go fight for our United States freedom, and it doesn't matter if Russia, if China, if anybody comes against us, we would have a power. Already we have a powerhouse with just the 50 states. If we added Canada as a 51st state and had them fighting with us, I'm telling you, there would be nothing America couldn't do. Nothing. You might be saying, Caden, this is just a big conspiracy. This isn't happening yet. And you're right, there's no official plans made for this, but I know that there have been somewhat talks. Look at this. Trump, 3 days ago, this was supposed to. 3 days ago. So this is very recent. Trump and Trudeau met together, and many are speculating that they were talking about Canada becoming the 51st state of America. And that's not even it. It gets crazier. Saying, listen, this person stated that and this is serious, you need to know this, maybe not for now, but for 2028, when the next election happens, they said that if Canada wins, it's a major Democratic, Canada is, the whole section. That would push the Democratic over edge, because think of how many electoral votes that would be in Canada. And think of if that went Democrat or Republican, that would be wild. Somebody stated it this way on this post. They said it would nearly be impossible for the Republicans to ever win again, because that would push the Democrats over the edge. It would have to be something more fair in that sense. Do you know what I mean? This Trump, and I think this is the last thing I'll post because I want to respect your time. You can go. Trump posted this on his Instagram. It's an AI generated photo of him standing on the Canadian, I think it is border or a mountain or somewhere. And it's the Canadian flag. And he just posted and said, "Oh, Canada." Isn't that interesting? Trump did that right after his meeting with Justin Trudeau. Seems to be like there was talks about something that haven't been revealed yet. I don't know too much about Justin Trudeau, but can you tell me this? Do you think that if Canada became the part of the United States and they did this whole thing that we've been talking about, would Justin Trudeau, I don't know much about him, but would he become a good governor, or do you think he would be a bad governor? Let me know in the comments. With everything I was saying about, the electoral votes and everything, I believe his name is Jesse Waters on Fox News, he stated this. He said that if you broke it up, and I'll play the video in just a second, but he said if you broke it up, Western Canada and Eastern Canada, it would kind of switch the narrative of one being Republican and one being Democratic, meaning it would be more fair. Check out what he said, and then I'll let you go.
Let's just be clear. We're not going to make Canada the 51st state. We'll make it 51 and 52. You make Western Canada, that'll be Republican. Eastern Canada, that'll be Democrat, so you keep the electoral balance there. So many reasons to make this a state. I think, has the third largest oil reserves in the world.
Oh, a lot.
So that makes us an energy behemoth. It's the most well-educated country in the world because we need a little help in that department.
With all that being said, this wraps up the video. What are your thoughts? I want to know. But hey, before you go, I want to give you this opportunity. You can see that I'm passionate about politics, but not even just as much. I'm more passionate about the Bible, and I'm more passionate about Jesus Christ and spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. I have made it a mission, because God has given me this mission, to travel the United States of America. And if Canada becomes that, I'll go to Canada. But God has given me a mission and a mandate, a calling from Him, to travel the United States of America and preach the gospel and win the lost, heal the sick, save those who are brokenhearted and dying in this generation, and lead them to Christ. If you would like to partner with me, as God has given me that mission to do so, listen, it takes funds, it takes favor, it takes a lot of things to do that. But listen, I want you to get your eyes not on the cost of things. I want you to get your eyes on the vision of things. God has given me a calling. He told me, go to 50 states within the next 4 years with this presidential term to preach the gospel. And when He told me that, I said, yes, sir. Because God, He is my master, and I do whatever He said. Listen, I believe these next 4 years, we are going to see such a radical turnaround in America. God is going to move. I'll go to Canada if need be. I'll go to every state because God told me to go to every state. God is not a person who calls you just so you fail. I believe God has called me to this because He wants me to succeed. He wants me to go win the lost. And He needs somebody who will be willing that He can use. I say, God, I'm willing. You can use me. Listen, it takes funds to do what God has called you to do. And if you would like to get behind the vision God has given me and partner with me, I would greatly appreciate it. In a time like none other, we need people who will rise up and send young ministers to preach the gospel. 3 different ways you can partner with me down in the link in the description or the link in the comments below. I would love and appreciate your partnership because it means the world to me. Thank you very much. With your support, I believe we're going to shake this generation in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. God bless you as you give. 3 different ways that you can partner with me. No amount's too big, no amount's too small. I appreciate you very dearly. In Jesus' mighty name. Hey, hope you got a lot of insight from this video. Who knows? Canada, United States, that would be pretty interesting. Hey, watch the next video that appears upon your screen, unless you're going to give the link in the description or the link in the pinned comments below. Thank you very much for your sowing. Thank you for your time watching this video. Have an amazing rest of the day.